Hello again, everybody. My name is Dale DuFay. There's Mary Hall.
Guys.
Let's pan around and take a look at me here for a second. And turn back around to Mary. What did we do yesterday? Ta-da!
Beautiful beam.
Yep, we got the main support beam put in place. Header, whatever you want to call it. We got it shimmed up here. You could see this pylon was lower than that one. That was the highest pylon. They didn't pay much attention to, pylon height because they were just shimming it up. But we're not using wood to shim it up. We just packed underneath with mortar. We'll remove these shims and put more mortar and replace where the shims are. We're going to put some more mortar. And then we mortared it in here on the foundation wall. You can see there. We're going to fill that more mortar in that. We're going to fill that whole cavity, as a matter of fact, with mortar, like we did along here. So that's going to be all done. But this beam is all perfectly level and ready to go. We're ready to put the joists on. The joists will span the beam. The top of the beam height is exactly the same as this height here on the wall. So the joists will go across and sit right on this beam. You notice how we staggered the seams on the beam? You know, here, 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 on each pylon. See, we did it here as well. So each seam is sitting on a pylon and very, very strong. We laminated the actually 2x10s. We laminated all three of them together with screws. We went and bought more screws because you go through them pretty fast. We got some 3.5-inch screws here that we're going to run probably another couple dozen or so throughout the beam again. But it's ready. Once we get this mortar totally in, it'll be ready and set. And then we're going to go over here and do this beam right here. That'll span across there to there, over to that wall. So that one they had cantilever, and it wasn't even fastened to the wall. I remember, Mary. We could do the same thing because you can cantilever a triple 2x10 quite a bit. As much as 3 feet, I believe. So cantilever meaning the hangover, where it hangs over the edge and not supported anything. Yeah, like that 6x6 beam which we're replacing in that area. It just floats in the end, and this one did too at this end that we removed. We're going to remove that side as well, but we didn't want to disturb that. It's supporting that whole, basically supporting the whole upper level. So once we get the triple beam going in here and replace all that, we can get that replaced only after it's like completely secure and safe. So this beam, this is the longest one, is complete. We're real happy with it. It took us all day to do it and get it right. You got to get it all perfect, and that we did. And I was surprised. We ran a string all the way from that end of the house all the way to this end of the house, and it was surprisingly level. So the house didn't settle much, at least the outer foundation. And so it's actually pretty true. So in other words, that wall over there where the joists are going to set, you can see the marks where the old joists were. We're essentially going to be putting them in the same spot throughout. So that's what we're going to do today. Like I said, we'll probably finish mortaring this up and then getting that beam going over there. While this one sets, because we're not going to be bashing hammers and stuff on it anyway. We're not going to disturb it or anything because the mortar obviously hasn't cured yet. And again, it's like packed underneath, even though it's like a tight seam. You can see under here. See how we packed it in there. So it makes sure that there's plenty of mortar underneath it, and not wood shims, because they had all wood shims, and they all literally rotted away. Even though if we did use wood shims and it stays dry under here, that would last a long, long time. But we decided to just go with the permanency of mortar. And if you recall, this whole section of this pylon was completely redone. That's like 3 feet down under a real hard bedrock, or bed, basically clay and sand. And then we came up all the way with this for this support. It's ultimately going to support all this too once we replace it. So it's gonna, basically we're doing it right.
Gotta do it right.
Is Bender's address on your shirt?
Could be.
One of them's his address, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, you got anything you want to add, Mary, before we end this video?
I just want to say thank you, Donald, for your donation again. I know it wasn't a lot, but to us it's a lot. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, yes.
And I know to you it's probably a lot too, because anything nowadays is a lot.
Yeah, I know, right? Money is so scarce these days, I'm telling you. Man. So anyway, now that everybody's got Bender's address,
Don't show Bender's address.
those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, it's the show Futurama. So it's one of my favorite cartoons.
So I love you guys, and I hope you guys are doing great.
Alrighty, Mary. We both thank you for watching, and we'll talk at you later. Love you.